I never thought that I would ever make an unboxing of a credit card, but here we are with the Apple Card. I'm going to unbox this thing, take a closer look at it, and maybe walk you through a setup process and then talk a little bit about why I went with this outside of the sheer fact that I wanted to make a video on this whole thing. Here's the actual card itself. It comes in this little sleeve and it's ready for you to set up with your iPhone or iOS device that you're going to be using this with, which is probably most likely going to have to be your iPhone. Now that I got my iPhone unlocked, let's go ahead and see how this thing goes. We're going to go ahead and try to register this thing on the back of my iPhone, and just like that, I'm prompted with activate my card. So I'm going to hit activate and it's ready to use. That was really simple, and probably one of the best things about Apple is their simplicity and their magical workflow between their hardware and their software. So now that I have it registered, let's go ahead and take a look at the physical card itself and maybe take a comparison to one of my most used cards out there. So here's the card itself. It's this matte white finish, which I'm not entirely sure how that'll hold up over time after going in and out of my wallet sleeve and all that type of stuff, but only time will tell. You can see the chip and you can see the Apple logo. On the back side of the card, you can see that it is backed by Goldman Sachs, but it is an Apple credit card because it is registered to your iOS device, which is most likely going to be your iPhone, and it is a MasterCard. So in comparison to one of the cards that I use the most, you can see that there is quite a hefty build and difference in these two cards. I use this thing a lot with rentals and all types of stuff, and this thing is absolutely been through the ringer. If the Apple Card holds up as well as this card does, I have no doubts that a lot of customers will be happy with this card. So with that said, let's talk a little bit about some details of this card. One of the stupid things that had me really excited about this card is it being titanium. I've never had a titanium or metal card, and this is my very first one. So with that out of the way, the practicality of having this card in my wallet is its integration with iOS and my iPhone. I'm really excited to put this thing to use and have it track where I spend and how I spend and what I spend my most money on, so I can get a better gauge of how that works. One thing that had me a bit concerned with this is its annual percentage rating range. It's anywhere between 12.99 and 23.99 APR percentage on your purchases. I never carry credit card debt and I always pay my amounts off. So I have been fortunate enough to have a really high credit score rating. I'm in the low 800s and I was able to secure this card for the lowest APR amount, which is 12.99. I'd be interested to kind of hear how your experience has been if you have this card or have applied for one. Feel free to leave me a comment down below on maybe give me a general idea of where your credit score is and how or what Goldman Sachs or Apple gave you as far as a percentage rating on this. So what's good about this card? Well, first and foremost, if you travel and you're depending on your credit card to give you some sort of actual benefit when it comes to travel, this card's probably not for you. I don't travel a whole lot, and when I do, I use my USAA cards because those give me a pretty substantial kickback when it comes, or have benefits to them when it comes to travel. You do get 3% cash back when you spend at Apple or like an Apple store. So that includes like iCloud purchases, App Store purchases, in-store Apple purchases of hardware, software, or services. So you're gonna get 3% on that. You get 2% on actual Apple Pay purchases with any merchant. So they're trying to promote and get you to spend through Apple Pay. It would be nice if Apple gave you a kickback of 5% stacking on the 3% if you spent at an Apple store using Apple Pay, but they don't. And you get 1% for everything else. And the good thing about that is that it's a daily cashback accrual. So you're gonna get some sort of report in the actual wallet on your iOS device, and you're gonna get daily accruals of your cash. And that's pretty unique considering most credit cards take a while to process your points, and then you have to take those points and transfer them into a dollar amount or exchange them for some sort of perk. At least that's been my experience anyway, because I know there's a plethora of different credit cards out there that have different functions. This one seems like it's pretty straightforward and simple. The bad thing about this card is that it is tied to an iOS device, and there is no dashboard to make payments if you lose your iPhone. I've been reading quite a bit about how to process payments outside of an iOS device, and that's it's very difficult. So Apple needs to do some building out of their payment system and provide users with a dashboard that you can access online regardless of the device, so you can make those payments. Because if you're in a tight spot and you owe some money, you're going to get charged that interest, and that's a bad thing. And I don't think that's the purpose or the intent of Apple with this. I think their intent is to try to give you a visualization of your actual spending, of where you do it, what you spend it on, and how you spend your money throughout the month or whatever. That's been my unboxing of a credit card. I'm starting to question my life choices at this point, but I've already made it through this video. So if you like this video, please feel free to give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, you know what to do. Thank you for taking the time to watch. I'm Tomas, and I will catch you in the next one.